Hello there, everyone.
Hi there, boys and girls, and all of you moms and dads, too.
Welcome to another Story Hour session. Today, we begin a brand new 7-chapter series of Bible stories. Right, Uncle Dan?
That's right, Aunt Sue. It's the story about Daniel and his 3 companions and their adventures.
I didn't realize there were so many stories about Daniel. 7, you said?
Well, actually, our first story has very little about Daniel in it. It has more to do with the great king who played an important part in the lives of Daniel and his 3 friends. The first chapter is entitled,
The Charming Prince.
Listen to him. He's going to be a great man someday.
Well, right now he's hungry and wants his dinner.
Yes, but he is going to be great. The greatest monarch the world has ever known.
I'll be satisfied if he turns out to be normal.
Oh, he'll be far above normal. I shall teach him the ways of the great. Someday the name Nebuchadnezzar shall be spoken on every lip.
Nebuchadnezzar. Such a big name for such a little fellow. He'll never live it down.
Nebuchadnezzar. Know you not what the name Nebuchadnezzar means?
No, do tell me.
May the god Nabu protect the sun.
That's what it means?
That's what it means.
Well, I hope he does protect him from your ambitious plans for him.
Now, careful with your tongue, woman. I am the lad's father.
I am his mother.
I am his king.
Yes, your majesty.
He is the crown prince of Babylon, the future king of all the world.
Yes, your majesty. Anything else, your majesty?
Yes. Give the infant his dinner. Feed him.
The baby Nebuchadnezzar grew into the boy Nebuchadnezzar.
Son?
Yes, Father.
How old are you today?
4, Your Majesty.
Who are you?
Crown Prince of the great country of Babylon.
What will you someday be?
His Majesty, monarch of all the earth.
You learn your lessons well, son. Son, how old are you today?
12 years old, sir.
Who are you?
I am the Crown Prince of Babylon,
Who will you someday be?
monarch of the earth, ruler of the universe.
What will you someday be?
Great.
Ah, well spoken, well spoken. And what makes people great?
A lot of things, Your Majesty.
Mainly?
Faithfulness to an ideal, loyalty to a prefixed goal.
Ah, my son, you do learn your lessons well. And someday, when you are older, you will understand these things even better than you do now. Friends, listen to me. We are assembled to pay homage to the next king of Babylon. Today is my son's birthday. Today he becomes a man. Today he takes his rightful place among the princes and officers of my court. I, Nabopolassar, king of all Babylon, have spoken. It is my wish and my command that all within the hearing of my voice bow the knee before Nebuchadnezzar, crown prince of Babylon. Long live Nebuchadnezzar, Prince of Babylon!
Long live Crown Prince Nebuchadnezzar!
Son?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Your education is now completed. You have been taught all that the wise men and teachers of Babylon know. The generals of my army have taught you all they know. You are now ready.
May it please His Majesty to listen to a brief word from his son.
Proceed, son, proceed.
My education, Your Majesty, is not completed. Oh, my formal education, yes. But every day, every hour of life, I expect to learn new things. If the time should ever come when I should cease to learn, then I shall be useless. True, I have been taught all that the great leaders and teachers and wise men can teach me. but I will soon be teaching them.
Ah, you exceed my expectations, son.
Since infancy you have instilled in me the desire to be a great monarch, and I shall be. You have pointed to Nimrod as an example of greatness.
Yes, he was great. Not only did he establish the first kingdom in this world, but he himself was a great king. People everywhere looked up to him, obeyed him.
Oh, yes, but why, Father? They obeyed him through fear. Fear! Nimrod was a hunter. He achieved greatness by ruthlessly ignoring the rights of others, by the forcing of his will upon others.
But, son, that is the way to achieve greatness.
Not altogether, my father. I shall go one step further than using force. I shall surround myself with wise men and experts. I shall consult them before making a decision. I shall seek their counsel so that I may make decisions which shall help to benefit all people. Thus shall I gain their respect and obedience.
Yes, it has merit.
With wise counsel and masterful planning, I shall seek to build a great empire.
I have sired a genius. You will be even greater than my wildest dreams and ambitions could have hoped for.
And King Nabopolassar made his son, Prince Nebuchadnezzar, commander of a separate army. Then, 2 years later, in the spring of 605 B.C.
Son, I am getting old.
Oh, Father, you're good for many years yet.
No, my son, I am failing fast. Soon my time will come, and I am not too regretful that I must step aside and let you fill my shoes. Would only that I could live to see you achieve the full greatness that you shall achieve.
You'll be around for a long time yet, Father.
Well, be that as it may, we have a problem. Or rather, you do. I'm turning things over to you. And the problem is Egypt.
Yes, they've been getting stronger and bolder. I think it's time we showed them who is the stronger.
Well, how would you go about showing them if you had the say-so?
By force of arms.
Well, they have a strong army, too, you know.
Not as strong as ours, nor do they have as smart a general as we do.
We have a smart general?
Me. Amazed, Father?
Amazed? Amazed at what?
That I am so egotistical.
Egotistical? Well, you have to be sure of yourself if you're going to succeed. And you are. I only wish I could be with you. But in the meantime, you are in charge of the army. Direct the warfare as you see best. And let us see what you can actually do besides talk.
I can defeat those Egyptians. Be sure of that.
I am.
I need your counsel, Nebuzaradan.
I'm at your service, Your Highness.
You have been the general of my father's force, have you not?
His Majesty has seen fit to give me that responsibility, Your Highness.
You're about to embark on a campaign.
Of course, Your Highness.
You know.
Well, I know that His Highness will not tolerate for long the Egyptian forces invading Babylonian territory.
Tell me, General Nebuzaradan, think you that we can defeat the Egyptians?
I am certain we can, Your Highness.
Then we shall proceed to do so without delay. Be ready to march early on the morrow, and inform your men that I, Crown Prince Nebuchadnezzar, am personally in charge of this campaign.
Yes, Your Highness.
Did you know that I was to be personally in charge of this campaign?
His Majesty, King Nabopolassar, is ill. He has implicit faith in you, his son, the Crown Prince, and has given you complete charge. I approve. With Your Highness' youth, talents, and ambitions, there's no limit to the achievements of the Babylonian army.
With your help and the cooperation of your men, General, your predictions just may come true. A fearless prince, a courageous general, a hard-fighting army. Woe unto any who dare get in our way. General Nebuzaradan, get your troops moving.
Yes, Your Highness. Bugler, forward march!
Farewell to thee, fair Babylon. May thy glory and fame exceed thy beauty and richness. Get up, men. Let us be on our way to glory and the sweet taste of victory.
Yes, Your Highness.
Oh, is all going well?
Extremely well, Your Highness. The men are in high spirits and anxious to do battle with the enemy, sure of immediate victory.
And the enemy, have you located them?
Yes, Your Highness. They're in possession of Carchemish.
But we shall depossess them. Do they know that we are coming?
Our spies saw no evidence of such knowledge, sire.
Then we have surprise on our side. How far yet to Carchemish?
A day's march, Your Highness. A long day's march.
I'll keep going for another hour or two. Then stop. Have the men lie down immediately and rest. We will leave before sunup in the morning. By forced marching, we should surprise the enemy around noon. Agreed?
Agreed, Your Highness.
So be it.
His Highness finds it hard to go to sleep?
Well, I am worried about the men. Are you sure they are well taken care of?
I personally saw to it, Your Highness. And if it please His Highness, may I voice an opinion?
It pleases me.
Perhaps His Highness is worried too much about the men. After all, Your Highness, it's rather unusual, to say the least, for a crown prince to worry about his men. Such menial tasks should perhaps be left to subordinates.
My dear General, I care not what others do. Rather, I lean towards the unusual. For in the success of my men, I succeed. In their failure, I fail. My laurels will rest on the achievements of those about me. A task well done by an officer or a lowly servant shall have equal recognition and reward. Likewise, a task ill done shall be punished.
Men, even though it's not yet dawn, we will march double time, though quietly. We will surprise the enemy inside the city of Carchemish. For the gods and the son of the gods, Nebuchadnezzar, crown prince of Babylon, fight! Fight bravely! Give of your life's blood! Long live the prince!
Long live the prince!
General, the enemy escaped through the south gate. Dispatch some of your men there immediately.
Yes, sire. Men of the tent, follow me! We routed them, Your Highness. Our victory is complete.
Not complete, General.
We've destroyed Carchemish, Your Highness.
But many of the men escaped, and this minute are fleeing toward Egypt.
Oh, only a few, Your Highness.
Well, only a few is too many. We will pursue them, wipe them out.
His Highness will engage in wanton killing?
This is war. Our duty is to destroy the enemy before he destroys us. If we let those few get safely back to Egypt, they will be part of another army that marches against us. They must be wiped out.
I bow to the superior judgment of my prince. Bugler, assemble the men. We march immediately. Your Highness, His Majesty, Pharaoh Necho of Egypt, can now weep and moan. His army is no more. To the last man, we've eliminated them. Long live Nebuchadnezzar, crown prince of Babylon.
Thank you, General. My first victory. But there will be more. Many, many more. General, reward the men. Give them time for refreshment and rest. Tomorrow we march again.
For Babylon, home?
No, General. For more conquests, more battles, more victories! General, you inform the men that we march again tomorrow.
Yes, sir, but I'm rather curious as to where, Your Highness.
But you, are you not curious?
Yes, Your Highness, I am.
If you were in my shoes, if you had the choice, where would you march?
Home, Your Highness.
Yes, I suppose you would.
And so would most other people. Begging your pardon, Your Highness.
You're right, General, but I'm not most other people. I am Nebuchadnezzar. I have had the sweet taste of victory.
We march for Egypt?
We march for Egypt. Scarcely before Pharaoh Necho learns that his army has been destroyed, we shall pounce upon Egypt and wrench all of it from him. Egypt shall become part and parcel of Babylon. Soon there shall be but one nation, Babylon, but one king, Nebuchadnezzar. General.
Yes, Your Highness.
Your intelligence department, your spies, what do they report about the nation of Judah?
Well, sir, 3 years ago, Pharaoh Necho of Egypt invaded Jerusalem and carried the Judean king back to Egypt. Necho placed Jehoiakim on Judah's throne. Since then, Judah has paid a large tribute of money to Egypt.
Now, what about Jehoiakim himself?
Well, he seems to be pro-Egyptian. Else Necho probably would not have placed him on the puppet throne in Jerusalem. His own people, the Israelites, consider him a wicked king.
I'm sure you know what I have in mind. What do you think, General?
I think Judah would be an easy prey right now. It would take scarcely more than an overnight stop in Jerusalem on our way to Egypt to effect the surrender of Jehoiakim and his court.
Alter our course and draw a map of an inland route to Egypt through Jerusalem instead of along the sea.
I've already done so, Your Highness. Here is the map.
Your quick wit, foresight, and intelligence shall be rewarded, General.
Thank you, sire.
So that is Jerusalem.
Surprised, Your Highness?
I had no idea it was so beautiful and impregnable. Steep precipices on three sides and... General, is that big building, the one in the center, is it the Israelite temple?
Yes, it is, Your Highness.
Beautiful. But we gain nothing standing here gazing. Gather your forces, General. We attack at sunup tomorrow morning. Making any headway, General?
Slowly, Your Highness.
General, hold our troops. The Israelites have ceased fighting, see?
Yes.
They wave the flag of surrender.
Yes, Your Highness. Bugler, sound the halt!
Scribe, prepare my royal robes. We receive royal visitors in the person of Jehoiakim, king of Judah. General, your advice. Shall I drive a hard surrender, or shall I be lenient?
The occasion calls for leniency, mixed with sternness. Perhaps a stiff levy of money and goods, Your Highness.
Perhaps. A cheap payment for peace with Babylon, wouldn't you say, General?
I would say so, Your Highness.
His Majesty, King of Judah, wishes an audience with Nebuchadnezzar, illustrious Crown Prince of Babylon.
The victorious Crown Prince of Babylon accords audience to Jehoiakim, conquered King of Judah.
Come forward, Jehoiakim. I am Prince Nebuchadnezzar. State your desire.
O King, I am here to sue for peace.
Under what terms?
The victor dictates terms, Your Highness.
You have been paying a high tribute to Necho?
Yes, sire.
For 3 years?
Yes, sire.
You have been Necho's vassal for the 3 years.
I suppose so, yes, sire.
Necho took your own brother as a prisoner.
He was king at the time, yes, sire.
These are my terms. You will pay me tribute, the same amount you paid Egypt. I shall take with me as prisoners some members of the royal family. Scribe, prepare a scroll for proper signature. Jehoiakim, while the scribe prepares the scroll, you will take me to your palace. There I shall look over your royal family and take those who please me.
Very well, Your Highness.
I will sit on the throne, Jehoiakim.
By all means, Your Highness, by all means.
Now, have the entire royal family parade before me, one at a time. The officers of your court, your ministers, princes, everyone, male and female.
Yes, Your Highness.
Enter one at a time.
This is my wife, the Queen.
You would be a very unhappy king, a disgruntled vassal were you left without a queen. She remains here with you.
Thank you, Your Highness. This young lady
Never mind introducing each one. Just let them pass before me. I shall indicate which ones are to go and the ones to remain. She stays here. He stays here. She goes. Here. Goes. Go. You step up here. Who are you?
A lady in waiting to Her Majesty the Queen.
You're very beautiful. You would be a fine addition to my court. You go. He goes, stays, goes, stays. You, all 4 of you, come up here in front of the throne. Yes, you 4. Now, beginning with you, what are your names?
Hananiah, Your Highness.
Mishael, sire.
Azariah.
Daniel, Your Highness.
Your positions in the court?
We are of royal blood, Your Highness.
You hold no official position in the Judean court?
We are students, Your Highness.
Ah, students. General, take special care of these 4 men. They will go to Babylon as my personal vassals.
Yes, sire.
When we get back to Babylon, call my attention to these 4. I have something special in mind for them, and take them away. Next, you can remain here. You go. It's a wonderful day, a wonderful world.
That it is, Your Highness.
How far yet to Egypt?
Let's see, 4 days' march to the border, another 4 or 5 days to the capital.
A week, 10 days, and I shall conquer Egypt, extend the borders of Babylon to the far reaches of the fabulous Nile.
Your Majesty! Your Majesty!
Did I hear someone calling Your Majesty?
Yes, Your Highness. It came from back there.
Your Majesty! Your Majesty!
Someone on horseback. Where's the royal colors of Babylon?
Your Majesty!
It's Nebuchadnezzar.
The chief of my courtiers? I left him in Babylon. What is he doing here?
Your Majesty, I have...
The wilderness is no place for a courtier. Why did you leave Babylon?
I have an urgent message for His Majesty.
His Majesty? But I am not... my father. The king, is he...
Yes. Your father, the king, is dead. Long live the king!
General, call a halt.
Bugler, sound the halt!
General, have the trumpeters sound His Majesty the King's personal fanfare, and make an announcement. I would have the men know that my father, the King, is dead.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Quickly, the electrifying news of King Nabopolassar's death spreads throughout the forces of Prince Nebuchadnezzar. Almost immediately, another announcement is made.
Long live the new king! King Nebuchadnezzar, son of the gods, ruler of all the earth! May he live forever!
It's hardly fitting, is it, to show joy at such a solemn event, the death of His Majesty the King.
I'm sorry, sire.
General, assign a squad of your youngest and most able men to accompany me back to Babylon. We leave immediately.
You're going to abandon the invasion of Egypt?
Temporarily, yes. I must get back to Babylon and secure my crown. I leave immediately by the short desert route. General, you will follow as quickly as possible. Take good care of the men and prisoners. Nebuchadnezzar, you will go with me.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Tired, Nebuchadnezzar?
No, Your Majesty. But surely His Majesty is.
I am used to this. You aren't. You are used to the soft life of a courtier. But you're young. You'll survive. There she is. Babylon, the city beautiful. I never quite recover from the thrill of approaching the city of Babylon. Look at her, the walls, the skyline. Impressive.
The most impressive sight in the civilized world, Your Majesty.
Ah, so it is. Yet I shall make it more impressive. Those walls, I shall build them taller and wider. The gates, they shall be larger and more beautiful. The Euphrates River that splits the city asunder, I shall use it as a beautifier. It shall be lined with stone edifices. Steps shall descend and ascend from its cool, refreshing waters. Tall, imposing buildings of stone and marble shall grace its sloping banks. A temple to the god Nebu, god of wisdom and eloquence. A royal palace second to none. Ah, the name Babylon shall be spoken with reverence and awe by all peoples. But let us not tarry here. Let us go on into the city.
King Nebuchadnezzar approaches. Long live the king! Long live the
king! Mother.
Son.
I'm sorry, Mother, about Father.
He died with your name on his lips. He had great hopes for you, son.
I shall not disappoint him.
He was a great man, son.
That he was, Mother, and I shall always cherish his memory, his counsel.
But what's going to happen now, my son?
Happen? I shall officially become king. I shall continue to rule Babylon even as Father ruled it. I shall immediately call together the officers of the court and declare myself King of Babylon.
I'm very proud of you, my son.
My father, the king, is dead. It was his wish that I reign as sovereign of Babylon when he was gone. Is there any opposition to this? Are all agreed that the throne of Babylon is mine by right of inheritance?
Agreed.
Is there any opposition to my right to rule Babylon by virtue of ability? In view of these things, I therefore declare myself King of Babylon. High Priest, I command you make immediate arrangements for my coronation.
Yes, my lord.
Scribe, send at once a proclamation of my coronation throughout the kingdom.
Yes, your majesty.
I am Nebuchadnezzar, son of the gods, king of Babylon, ruler of the earth. I have spoken. So shall it be.
Long live the king!
As high priest of the gods of Babylon, and by the authority vested in me, I place this crown of gold upon thy head, Nebuchadnezzar, son of the gods, receiver of nature's favors. Henceforth thou shalt be King of Babylon.
And so it came about in the year 605 BC that the crown prince Nebuchadnezzar, son of Nabopolassar, became king of the fabulous land of Babylon.